Hey friends, Catherine here. Today I want to teach you how to make a arrow hair stick using Sculpt and a skewer. The skewer is going to be the core of our hair stick so that the Sculpt doesn't just break the first time you try to put your hair up in it. The first thing that I'm going to do is take this 12-inch skewer and cut it down to 6 inches. So I've got 6 inches there, so that I've got two halves that are the same length, relatively speaking. I'm going to cut off the little bit extra on the end for the sharper tipped one. That way I don't end up stabbing myself too badly in the head. And then I have hair sticks enough to make 2 arrows. So we'll set those aside for a moment, put our measure away, and then what we're going to do is decide the base color that we want our arrow to be. I'm thinking white. I like white. I think it's nice. So I'm thinking white. I'm going to take my white that I've got right here and roll it out to the general length or width that I want the arrow to end up being. I'm actually going to roll it a little narrower because we are going to flatten it around the skewer, and that'll take up some of the center mass. So let's roll it narrow. Just keep rolling it out until it reaches about the width that I want the arrow to end up being. Something maybe a little narrower than that even. I hope I'm not shaking you guys too badly with this. We don't want it to be too thick. We want it to be thin enough it can go through hair. So maybe I'll just narrow down one end. Okay, let's cut that off and set that bit aside, and then keep narrowing that down a little bit more so that I hopefully even it out. There we go. Something similar to even and round all the way along. Okay, pretty good. And that's about 12 inches. Awesome. So I'll just take and cut it in half, and that will give me 2 of my arrows. Then what I need to do is get the skewer into the center of that roll. And for that, there's a trick to it. What you do is you press it flat, but I would rather have something that's long. So like my ruler, for instance. That would be all right for pressing this flat. So let's press it from this side across to that side and try and make it as even and flat as possible. And it's nice that this ruler is transparent because I can see through it and see how I'm doing on getting it even and flat. And then I just have to peel it up and then peel this up. That's stretched out. That's okay though. We'll just set our skewer down right in the middle and cut off the excess. And then roll this around our skewer, hopefully. Sort of. If you can't tell, I'm kind of making this up as I go along. But if I can get it most of the way around, I can take that other piece that we ended up having to cut off and cover the other half, and then we'll be golden. That's stretched again somehow. Okay, that's fine. It's fine. It's fine. We'll just take that and put it right there. Perfect. And we'll just kind of patch along so that everything sticks to itself and holds in place. Hopefully. We'll see how it goes. On each end. There we go. Hopefully tightening it down, squishing it around the skewer. That's not working. Okay. Let's see if we can't roll it just a little bit with the skewer in the middle. See if that gets us where we want to be. Or if it just loosens it up and pulls it off. I don't know, starting to look better. Yes, okay, that's the trick. Roll it with the skewer on the inside. There we go. Problem solved, mostly. That can just tuck right back over that end and go a little bit more rolling. There we have it. One skewer covered in Sculpt so that it's white and things will be made to, and things can be made to stick to it. Can be made to stick to it. Perfect. Excellent. Rolled it just toward the center, maybe. And flatten that down. All right, there we go. Yes, success. We have one skewer covered in Sculpt. That's the first step to making an arrow. Now, we need some green. Let's see, let's set some of that aside and let's flatten this down. And turn my hand all green in the process, but that's fine. And let's make some fletching from this green so that we have green fletching, because I like that. I like the idea of green fletching. That could be awesome and fun. Let's just flatten it out as much as we want to. And then we should actually make a fletching template so that we can cut it out from this. So let's see, what kind of template should we make? We should make something from a bit of scrap paper, I think. Doesn't matter the kind. There we go, that's a bit of scrap paper. It's an awful color when compared to the green, but whatever. So we need something that has like a straight edge on that side. It's going to want to be, yeah, about that long. And then comes up this way and up this way, and like that. So we'll need 3 of those. Just cut that out real quick. That might actually be too wide. What do you think? Like that? Yeah, no, that looks right. I'm just eyeballing it, but it looks right to me anyway. So let's cut 3 of those out of this flat bit of green. Go. Oh, kind of crushed down that edge a little bit. That's all right. Straighten it back up again. Let's pinch down one side of it so that it sort of tapers off a little bit. Not quite so square. There we go, that's one. And let's just put a couple marks in it this direction. And on the opposite side, same way though. There we go. Something like that. Oh, that side flattened back out. And now that I've crushed it down, I have to cut it back into shape. That's fine. Something I can work with. Okay. There we go, perfect. Sometimes you just have to finesse things a little bit. Go. All right, and I'm gonna need 3 of these. So let's just there we go. Then flip it over and do the other side. And then back to this side and just a little bit more there. And then straighten everything back up. All the same size, all over again. Okay, 2 down, 1 more to go. Okay. All right. Score this down nice and well too. And flip it over and do the opposite side as well. Okay, then dress back up the first side just a little bit so that it's not quite so crushed out. And redo my length and width, and we should be in business as far as the fletching goes. Perfect. Okay. Oop, that broke off. There we are. Okay, now we've got our arrow back over here. We're going to take a little bit of the gray before we put the fletching on. We're going to take a little bit of the gray and attach it right on the end for the tip of the arrow. For the head of the arrow, I should say, however you prefer to call it. Okay. Perfect. There we are. Okay, and then just roll it toward the center, hopefully, sort of. Something like that. Without rolling it in the green, maybe we'll make a nice arrowhead. Okay. Something like that. And then let's take a little bit of this green and roll it out to add bands that are the same color as the fletching along the shaft of the arrow, hopefully. If everything goes according to plan, which I plan it to, so, you know, might even do. Alright, and then roll this just out as thin as I can make it. Okay. Well, not as thin as I can make it, but, you know, pretty thin. And then take like that much of it, say, and wrap it around here-ish. So we just put a nice stripe of color around it. Same thing again. Grab another section of that green roll and put another stripe around. And then maybe one more around, maybe up higher, like right there-ish. And the reason why we're doing that before we put the fletching on is because we're also going to roll it flat with the arrow. Let's move that fletching out of the way and roll this arrow flat. Roll the stripes flat. Roll everything flat. Flat and even. Yeah, that's a little wiggly, but okay. I can work with it. Alright, now I'm going to take something like a popsicle stick and just mark out in thirds. And then stick on my fletching, hopefully. Just attach it down really well. On both sides. And then do the same thing for the other two. making sure to attach them down really well, or what I hope is really well. Suppose we shall see. Come on, you. And then attach on, and then the third one, which is, I think, going to be the trickiest one. But just kind of lean it toward one direction and press it on, and then lean it toward the other direction and press it on. And we should be in the business of arrows. There we go. That is something like an arrow that I can bake and then put in my hair for a hair stick. What do you think? Do you like it? If you do, let me know. If you don't, let me know that too. I put up new videos every day, so there's always something new and different to see. So if you didn't like this, come back tomorrow. You'll see something different. And remember to subscribe, and I will see you all tomorrow. Bye!